I have returned from exile to wage war against all mankind. I will call upon all the children of the earth, the good, the bad, and the worst. Are we going to talk all night? Because I'm really sleepy. Hi, this is Trepacer, and welcome to Trepacer's Saturday Reviews. I haven't done one of these in a while. I think the last time I did one was Hercules in Rio, which was about July 26th. Okay, and like I said, I've been mostly doing Spielberg Saturdays. Okay, but I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, and I went to see two movies today, so Trepacer Saturday Reviews it is. Okay, I watched two movies today. Okay, Expendables 3. Let's see that. Yeah, there you go. And Let's Be Cops. There you go. So I'll talk about Expendables 3 first. Okay, and we all know that, it got leaked a few weeks ahead of time, so, and I know there's a big lawsuit and everything, and also about this Expendables, this was the first one that's PG-13, and I assume, like I said, I haven't read anything about it, but I assume the reason Stallone did this is because he wanted to, I think, appeal, I guess, to a wider audience. Thereby, he also brought in newer characters in this Expendables movie. Okay, and he brought, some old friends, old action stars in this movie, more than likely Wesley Snipes for one, of course, and of course they added Harrison Ford to the team, and also they had Mel Gibson as the villain in this. Okay, and the basic story, if you've seen the trailers, is basically Barney, Sylvester Stallone, he runs into his old friend. Actually, in the beginning of the movie, he, that you see in the trailer, he basically frees Wesley Snipes' character from a prison train, and of course, and there's a great that scene is a beautiful shot the way they did it, where him, they're breaking into the prison train, and rescuing Wesley Snipes' character, and of course Wesley Snipes doing a little improvising on his own and doing some other stuff, which I don't want to spoil. Okay, and basically what happens is they get him, they free him, and he's an old expendable member, of course, and there's kind of a little friction between him and Jason Statham's character, which is one of the highlights of the movie to me. Their little interaction I thought was nice. But before setting him free, they actually said, "We need you on a mission," and they go on a mission, and this mission kind of goes sideways, and they run into an old team. The old guy who co-founded the Expendables with him, Conrad Stonebanks, played by Mel Gibson, and of course he kind of leaves an impression. Okay, an impression so much so that Barney decides to basically retire his old team. Okay, and get some new blood, and go on a mission to actually capture Conrad Stonebanks, played by Mel Gibson. Okay, and like you see in the trailer, things go south, and the young team gets captured, and basically he has to get the old team back to go rescue the young team. Okay, now, this movie, again, let me just say this. Mel Gibson, I think, was one of the best things about it. I think Mel Gibson was having a ball playing a bad guy. Okay, and Mel Gibson is, and I kind of wish they had given him a little bit more screen time, but he was great in the time that he had on there. Mel Gibson makes a great villain. Okay, but a couple of problems I have with this movie. First of all, and this could be, I guess, a minor spoiler in this, Terry Crews, I don't know if it was because he was filming that Brooklyn Nine-Nine show, that he wasn't available to film as much, but he's not in the movie as much. And my biggest issue with this movie is, besides the PG-13 rating, of course, is the old expendable crew is not in it as much. Like I said, he brings on this young team, and they eat up some of the their screen time, and to me, none of them are worthy enough. What I loved about this expendable movies is that you got these old guys, action stars, kicking ass and taking names, and I didn't think they needed to bring on a young crew to I guess join in on the fun. I thought the Expendables, the way it is, the way it's set up with the old action stars being in the movie, was enough of a setup for me. But I guess Stallone wanted to, I guess maybe bring in a wider audience. I guess he figured by making it PG-13 and bringing in younger people. Um, but to me, it wasn't necessary. And like I said, I hate it that you don't get the old crew that's not in this movie as much as they were in the past movies. Okay, their screen time basically gets chopped, I guess, in half in a way, and which kind of was a disappointment to me. Okay, but I guess he wanted to do that because he thought he'd get a wider audience. And I know probably like the screener copy being released early probably hurt the box office for this movie, or it's gonna hurt the box office for this movie. But I still think that the story is kind of weak. I mean, it's just and another thing, Jet Li, who like I said, he basically in this movie, you know, you want to see Jet Li kicking people's ass basically, and all he does basically is fire a gun in this movie. Okay, and same thing with Arnold. And I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Arnold's old. Okay, and it really, they basically have him just firing weapons. Okay, so you can't, I guess you can't do the hand-to-hand thing. And this in the big confrontation that you want to see, Barney and Conrad Stonebanks, Sylvester Stallone, and Mel Gibson going at it, didn't last nearly as long as I wanted it to last. Okay, I thought it could have lasted a little bit longer than it did. Okay, but I guess like I said, they wanted to do a certain thing, and I think to me, this movie is out of all the three movies, this movie is the least to me. Okay, the second one is the best one, I think. The first one, and then this one. Okay, hopefully they'll do another movie, hopefully they'll cut out this needing new young blood thing. I think it was just total crap for this movie. Expendables to me is getting those old action stars, the old team together and have them going somewhere and meeting a villain and kicking his ass. Okay, that's what I want to see. I don't need to see any new young blood in there kicking ass. Sure, the chick what's her name? Who's the MMA champion? She's okay, but yeah, like I said, she's. Oh yeah, and another thing. What's her name? I'm sorry. Let me give her credit for her name. What's her name? Ronda Rousey. Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Yeah, they're okay. And like I said, Victor Cruz. Yeah, Victor Ortiz. Excuse me, not Victor Cruz. Victor Ortiz is Mars, no personality. Kellen Lutz, I think, was okay, and I didn't mind him so much. And there was another guy, I think I forgot his name. Another guy that was like the tech guy, and he was okay too as well. But Glenn Powell played Thorne, I think that was his name. But the movie could have done without those guys. And like I said, they cut down Terry Cruz's time in this movie. And like I said, I don't know if it was because of the TV show he's on that he couldn't be in the movie as much, and that's why they kind of cut down his time. But I kind of miss him being in part of the crew, especially in the climax thing. He wasn't there, which really kind of kills it for me. Okay, you like to see him kicking ass. Kelsey Grammer was actually pretty funny in his bits there, and like I said, Harrison Ford is there to be the old gruff guy, and they let him kick ass from a distance, but shooting flying a helicopter, so he was okay. But also Antonio Banderas, who was basically comic relief in this movie. He was just basically comic relief. That's all he was. I mean, he kicked the ass too, and they gave him his chance to kick ass in it. But he was mostly there for the laughs, and occasionally he made me laugh. But other times he was a little bit overbearing. Okay, Antonio Banderas, who I give him credit for basically playing a motor mouth. But like I said, I missed not being in as much, Jet Li not being in it as much, and again, Terry Cruz's character not being in it as much as either. I kind of miss those guys, that they sacrificed their time to bring in this younger crew, and the story wasn't that great to begin with. Like, basically they had to go after this, Conrad Stonebanks, who formed the Expendables with Barney, and they never really, they just basically had Mel Gibson basically, explain it through exposition. How they fell out, but they never really showed it to you, but which would have been nice if they actually showed maybe a little flashback to how they had their falling out. That would have been better. And like I said, Wesley Snipes was good in the beginning, and he had his moments throughout the movie. But again, I think they wasted a valuable opportunity by bringing this young crew in and not giving the old guys their old time like they had in the other movies. Okay, so I would give Expendables 3 and 6.5. Okay, it was okay. Wasn't great. I think this is the weakest of the three. And again, like I said, I didn't like that they cut down the the veteran guys. Their time to bring in the young guys, the new blood. Okay, and I miss Jason Statham not being in it as much, and Terry Crews, and again Jet Li, and again Arnold. Like I said, he basically just fires guns. Exactly, because Arnold was really looking his age. Not that that's a bad thing, but it is what it is. He's really looking his age. Okay. So anyway, again, Expendables 3, I give it a 6.5. I think this is the weakest of the three. Okay, and hopefully if they do another movie, they'll exactly leave the veteran guys in. Okay, and like I said, I wouldn't. Well, no, I won't say that. And again, Mel Gibson made a good bad guy, and he was nothing wrong with his character to me at all. Okay, anyway, the next movie I saw was Let's Be Cops. Okay, that was a comedy starring Damon Wayans Jr., of course, and Jake Johnson. They're both in The New Girl. Show The New Girl, right? And it's basically, if you see the trailer, it's about two struggling pals. Damon Wayans Jr. is a gamer. He's not a gamer. He creates games. He works for, I guess, like a gamer company, and he's Justin. And Jake Johnson plays Ryan, and he's basically a washed-up. No, he's an actor. Excuse me, I would say he's a washed-up actor. He's an actor who used to be an ex-football player who had an injury, of course, so he can't do that. And they're basically struggling through life. Damon Wayans' character is, he's shy and doesn't stand up for himself. Jake Johnson's character has maybe too much confidence. Okay, and like I said, they lived together, they're roommates, and they came here from Ohio and planned to make it there to hit their 30s. So they're struggling basically to do things like that. Damon Wayans' character is trying to pitch this new game to his boss, of course, but he's too timid. And then you have Jake Johnson, who's basically an out-of-work actor who's not really doing anything all day. So, they get invited to a party, to a reunion, and they decide to go dressed up as cops, as you see in the trailer. And they notice people's different reactions to them when they dress up as cops. And they really start to like this feeling. And it allows Damon Wayans Jr. to talk to the girl he likes in the restaurant they go to, played by Josie, played by Nina Dobrev, from the Vampire Diaries. And they actually decide to, and Jake Johnson's character, he decides to take it even further. He basically buys a car for eBay, a police car, and they actually go around, driving around, actually pretending to be cops. And, and they have some hilarious, funny moments in this movie, and they actually get drawn into something more serious when they run into a real-life situation at the restaurant, which I don't want to spoil. Okay, and they kind of get involved with real cops and real criminals. Okay, and I like this movie. I like the chemistry between Jake Johnson and Damon Wayans Jr., who's absolutely funny. They're really hilarious. And like I said, you see some of the jokes in the trailer, of course, but they have other jokes in here. And again, I just want to special mention to when they have to go in with real cops to a break-in. Okay, that scene alone right there is hysterical. Okay, and Andy Garcia's in this, believe it or not. Okay, and I won't spoil his part in that, but he's in it as well. And it's a fun movie. Like I said, it's not of course it's totally predictable and stuff, but it's entertaining. Like I said, again, Damon Wayans Jr. and Jake Johnson have good chemistry, and they're funny. Okay, and the story, it's relatable and it makes you laugh, and I enjoy it. I had a smile on my face throughout the whole movie. So, like I said, it's not the best movie. It's totally predictable. You can pretty much figure out what's going to happen. Okay, but it's still enjoyable, and I liked it. Okay, it's not the best movie, but it's totally enjoyable. A nice comedy. Nice. You check your brain at the door. Enjoy comedy. Okay, and I'm gonna give Let's Be Cops a 7 out of 10. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I enjoyed it, and it made me laugh and it moved. Okay, and I liked it. I liked the chemistry between Damon Wayans Jr. and Jake Johnson. They were hilarious as a team. I would love to see them in another movie together because they had nice chemistry, nice friend chemistry in it. So again, the movie that you check your brain to the door. This is a silly comedy. It's it's totally predictable, but I enjoy it because of the actors involved. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna give again Let's Be Cops, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. And Expendables 3, I'm going to give it a 6.5. To me, it's the least of the three movies that came out. Again, they made it PG-13, which kind of cuts down the violence in it a lot. I guess I'm assuming Sylvester Stallone did that because he wanted to reach a broader, a broader audience. But I didn't like the fact that they cut out the old Expendables, their time. They cut down their screen time in favor of these young cats, which to me, they're basically totally bland, except for maybe what's his name, the guy from what's it called, Kellen Lutz. He played Smiley. I thought he had a little bit of personality. Okay, but Victor Ortiz and the other guy, and Ronda Rousey, like I said, she's the MMA fighter. She was okay, but no big shakes. But I hate that the old Expendables got their screen time cut down. Okay, I would have liked it if it focused more on them. Okay, and Mel Gibson was a good villain. Just wish he had more time on screen. Okay, and so I would give Expendables 3 a 6.5. To me, it's Expendable 2 is the best one, Expendable the first one, and then this one. And hopefully they'll get a chance to make another one, and they can improve upon it. Again, Antonio Banderas was okay, but he kind of hammed it up a little bit too much. Okay? Anyway, let me know what you think of these two movies. If you've seen them, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care. Oh, crap.